Good evening, good evening, good evening. I hope you're all good. I hope you're all good. Today we're chilling. We take it easy. We have a topic. The price of everything is the value of nothing. Any thoughts? The price of everything is the value of nothing.
The price of everything is the value of nothing. Do you mean it in the terms of we are defined by the things we buy or something?
Let's say around that place. What I'm trying to say about this is that as a great society, we have often determined our particular worth based on the materialistic things. For an example, if you have an iPhone 10, if there is ever an iPhone 10, and during that time, you have an iPhone 6, and now you're saying just because I have an iPhone 6, I don't feel worthy enough to speak to you because you have an iPhone 10. So what you said, my value and my substance is determined by this particular materialistic things, and it's the key which allows me access to particular rooms. And that's toxic because it shows a level of inferiority and lack of belief in yourself.
But if I may dive in, I feel like it has something to do with what Vositembe once said. Like what you buy gives you access to other stuff. Example, if you buy the iPhone 10 or iPhone 14 or whatever is the latest, it's not about the phone actually, it's about the perception, the status it gives you. Like when people see you using an iPhone 14, this dude has money. The type of ads that come to you, the type of advertisements that come to things that have to do with having a lot of money. You can't just advertise selling cabbages to someone using iPhone 14. You start using laptops, MacBook Pros.
Yeah.
I think it's more about the perception, the status of how you're perceived in the world, the status you now hold, if I am making sense in a way.
Now, the thing about value at the same time is that we need to remember that it's also subjective rather than objective. That means there is no one single layer of what defines value. It also means that I decide at the end of the day what I consider valuable or not. So the danger is allowing others to dictate what's supposed to be valuable, because what society has said is that if, like we're making the example of the iPhones and whatnot, I actually own a Samsung right here. But now if I consider myself not as valuable for having a Samsung, then what will happen? Will I stop being bold enough to walk into rooms and pitch an idea? Will that mean now I cannot talk to the girl that I actually like because I have a Samsung and the other guy approaching has an iPhone?
Yeah.
So am I supposed to stop what I think I can achieve based on what you guys think about me?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yesterday, the same person who did not buy the McLaren was in a bus. But he did everything in his power to be able to get the McLaren. He knocked on the right doors, he spoke to the right people, regardless of how they saw him. So does that mean I must remain in the same position because you see me in a particular way? So that's what I'm saying, it's subjective. If I convince myself long enough on the value in which I possess, from my ideas, from what I consider valuable, from my ideologies and all of that, I strongly believe that I am still valuable regardless of how you all see me. In fact, I'm convinced to say that you are at a loss if you reject me based on your value systems.
Simply put. Well, as much as that can be, in your opinion, subjective, it will always be objective. Because value, what makes something valuable is because it's hard to get. It's that simple. An iPhone is of value because we make it of value. Not just you, not just me. Everyone is chasing the same thing. Everybody wants it. Then the value increases. And Ferrari can just be as good as a Toyota. How many people want a Toyota? How many people want a Ferrari? You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So value are the things that are hard to get, that people really want. It's easy to get, things that are cheap and affordable. Those are things that you find common, right? So that's the issue that we deal with, is that we deal in a world whereby we have to value things because they are less. You know what I'm saying? Not a lot of people can get that, right? Not a lot of people can afford an iPhone. Not a lot of people can live an expensive extra life. So everyone is chasing that. And in return, the price of that lifestyle keeps going up and up. Not many people want to drink champagne. No one wants to drink champagne. But it's the fact that you can't get it. So that's why we buy the champagne instead of buying a Coca-Cola. But it's the same liquids, it's the same beverages. We're just trying to just chase the same thing that no one can get. We want to feel special. We want to feel different. We want to feel like if we have more of the things that people don't have, I am special, I am different. Whereas we should be dealing with, who are you? You know, what do you contribute to the world? But we are dealing with, no, I am better than everyone else, which is why you feel like you need to get what no one else has. Everyone wants to be different so that they can be of value. So they chase the things that are hard to find. That's what I see.
I agree. All the points they said are pretty accurate to me. Because actually say, let's look at it even much more. The price isn't the financial thing you take out and pay. The price is you say, my worth is determined on something now. So it's no longer about the money spent. Now it's about the self-image lost at the cost of you needing validation from someone else, which becomes a brain tumor, becomes corrosive to your own growth. Because then what happens when, let's say, you know very well, you have 500 Rand left, or 500 left. That's your last amount of money. And there's a group of friends saying, no, let's go out and spend 500. Now you want to appear valuable to them based on the loss of your money. Now that's where it becomes a problem. Because one thing can be this, that's your last 500. Someone else, that can be petty cash. So you end up building this lifestyle of saying, as long as I'm accepted by others, my progress and my happiness and my sustainability doesn't matter. That ends up to a crisis, identity problem.
The day you understand your value, like your time, what you talk about, and your presence, is the day you're going to start thinking about, should I show up when they ask me to show up? Your presence. Like, absence makes the heart grow fond and stuff. If you start limiting your presence to some people, they will then start wanting you to be there, instead of you always being there to them growing tired of you. What I'm trying to get here is this. There are a lot of things that determine your value or your worth, if I may put it like that. Like if I'm buying, let's use the same iPhone. If I'm buying the same iPhone, like Mr. Hiova said, subjective and objective. Like it's not always subjective, sometimes it's subjective to what people may say. Sometimes it is a bit personal. Like if you set it as a goal to yourself, like I don't have anything of worth that is expensive. But if I work my ass off to get that iPhone 14 Pro Max, that's something of value to me. That does say something about me. That does add a bit of value to me. Like, I can do the hard stuff. I can achieve what I want. Like, when you put it like that, I feel like it's a bit deeper than just the surface area. I have an iPhone. Oh no, he's rich. He's important. He's a good person. Or he's doing something shady. Sometimes it's a bit more personal than that. Like, I have the power, I have the means to be whatever I say I want to be, whatever I put my head into.
That's a very interesting way of putting things. And to add to that, you know, value changes, right? We have to face reality. Like we said, we're trying to understand this price that we talk about, you know, is it worth it or value? Value and price go hand in hand, right? Let me give you a scenario, right? If everyone here says, we all like this girl, we all like this girl, we all like this girl, she has value because everyone likes her. But what's going to make her worthless, right? What's going to make her lose value? If she now entertains everyone, oh yeah, she's with this one, she's hooking up with this one, she's hooking up with this one. Now, do you still want her? No. Why is that? So value changes. It does change. So when we attack value, we attack the idea of what is the price that thing is worth? What are we willing to do? That's what makes the value. So if you're saying you want an iPhone, right, and you're going to go buy an iPhone, let's also assess, does it still have the same value if you had to steal to get the iPhone? Does it still have value? Is it still of value? But we both have iPhones, but yours is stolen. Mine, I work for it. Does it still have value?
True.
So what are you willing to do? That reflects the real you. If you worked hard, it can be a value as a trophy. We'll see it as a trophy. So when you look at the price, we say, you worked hard, and this is a way to show people that you can believe in yourself. You can get there, right? It's like athletes, they work hard, they score so many goals, and they're given trophies, a medal. This is not to say, oh, this is gold. We're trying to say that, wow, he worked so hard and this is what he got. He is special, he is different. Now, if you're trying to get the shortcut way, then that thing has no value anymore. It could be the same position, it could be the same house, same phone, but it doesn't have value because of the ways you went about it. So the price does matter. You determine the price. Your inner being, your inner person, the real you, you cannot hide. But just because you have a nice car with a nice phone and everything, value starts with you.
Yeah. Value evolves as well. What I considered valuable when I was 10 years old is not the same thing I consider valuable now. That is because as you grow and you're exposed to more things, what you consider valuable continues to change. For example, as he made an example of a girl, I'll make the same example. The kind of girl I used to fight for or try to go for back in high school, the kind of list I had and the kind of list I have now is kind of different. What I wanted in a girl, yeah, the looks are still there. But there are certain things I added to the list because what I consider valuable continues to evolve.
Okay.
Not that it completely changed,
Right.
but the value, what I consider valuable continues to evolve as I grow.
That's right.
Now, it's a danger for me, for a person, that 10 years ago, what you considered valuable 10 years ago, there's still nothing that was added to your list
Okay.
because that also shows that you have not grown. So the reason why I say it's subjective is because your level of growth and my level of growth is not the same. I cannot be leaning on your childish value, definition of value when I've grown so much. What my father considers valuable is not what I consider valuable. He wants to see that, hey, his family's fed this and this, the house is in order. I'm not thinking of that. I'm just thinking what I'm going to eat tomorrow. I'm not thinking of feeding the entire family. But tomorrow, the most valuable thing is, have my kids eaten? Are they going to school? And all of that. The value evolves. And the more we're exposed to things, the more we grow in life. That's what dictates what's valuable at that particular point in time. I still say it's subjective because a billionaire right now, and you're going to pitch to a billionaire. Do you really think, I'm talking about a serious billionaire, do you really think that the first thing he's looking at right now is your cell phone compared to a person who just made his first million? The man who made his first million is still looking at your cell phone. Let's be real. Real billionaires who are not even dressing with the biggest, fanciest chains and all of that are actually more interested in the input in which you have, even in their wealth, even in their status and all around. So now the value, once again I say value is still subjective in that sense. Because as we grow, what we consider valuable evolves. What Tube today considers valuable, trust me, in 10 years' time when we have a conversation, you'll find out that, yeah, he wanted an iPhone at this age, but right now he's thinking of a house. It evolves.
Yeah, I guess you're right. I mean, like, it can be subjective, right? What we deem valuable right now, like, it can be with age. Kids want toys. We want jobs, you know. It can be determined by environment. If you stay in Africa, electricity, water, that's stuff that has value to us. We need to have that to survive. An American, what adds value to them, it's not the same with us. To them is the flashy life, the labels, the trips, the yachts, the boats, everything, the fast life. For us, it's just getting by. So yes, it can be. But now, let's just not look at it from that bracket, right? Let's look at it from a deeper point of view, right? A billionaire gets $1 billion, right? And he's getting $1 billion and you don't get $1 billion. But we are all searching for that one thing inside ourselves. That's what makes it objective, is that we search for certain things to feel better about ourselves.
Yeah.
That's when it becomes objective, right? He's not living a simple life, the billionaire, because he's just bored or something. It's because he's realized, like, oh, I don't feel special anymore living this life, right? So you change. But the main idea is that we're trying to feel good. At the end of the day, we are trying to be valuable so we feel good, so we feel special. Yeah, you can feel that, oh yeah, I want to be a nice person, I want to be a good person, because inside ourselves we want to feel complete, we want to feel good. And that feeling, we chase for it. And then that's the price. What is it worth? it's worth nothing if you put it in material things. But it's worth more if you invest it in yourself than the perception of people. That's what I see.
So, like, the price of everything, like the value of nothing. I think it sometimes comes down to the angle at which you're looking at it.
Mhm.
Like, we are men. As men, some would say we're born to be competitive.
Mhm.
When you put in the word high value, like,
Mhm.
women have different definitions.
Mhm.
Let's put in Christian schools. Like, Christian people are so devoted to the Bible, like,
Mhm.
the way things were back then. They'll tell you that a high value man is a man who is ready to protect his family and to provide.
Mhm.
A man who's always there for his kids, like to show them the way they should grow up, the way that is acceptable to society and to God.
Mhm.
But now the world will tell you this: a high value man is a man who does not necessarily have a job, but has many streams of income,
Mhm.
has a beautiful house, beautiful wife, beautiful car, flash life. Like, that's the world view nowadays. It does come down to the angle at which you're looking at it. What is it that you think is valuable to you? Because to them, value may come as, I want a girl that is pure. A girl who hasn't been with a lot of guys, because, like, let me put it like this. If I'm just trying not to be offensive to those that are going to watch. But if I were to be blunt, let's say, if she is not very true, like the type of bargains, memories she had, you're not going to be in competition with the past, but you're going to be what she's hoping for in the future. Like, that's valuable to two men.
Mhm.
Like, you're going to be seeing me for me, not the bastard you're thinking for your back. Like, if I'm not being too offensive by my words, that may be valuable to two men.
Mhm.
With you, maybe just nyash. Like, that's valuable to you, and no one can dispute that and say, nah, you're wrong, that's not valuable. That's valuable to you. When it comes to my garden, what might be valuable would be, I just want a woman who prays. Woman who prays shakes the world to her prayer. To me, I love the one that sings. That's valuable to me.
Mhm. Mhm.
Maybe she'll be rent true, maybe she won't be rent true, but that's up to me, and no one can dispute the fact that she's valuable to God.
But what is the price?
Like, when you say the price of everything, I feel like as
What
a
are you
man,
willing to do
What are you willing to do
to get there? To get there, you said she sings. Okay. What are you willing to do? Does it still has value after you've done what you've done to get her? Is she still of value?
yeah, like for me, I want someone who sings, like, to have passion about that talent you have. My talent is with words. I do spoken word poetry. Like, with you, it may be nyash figure, like, you try to keep your body in shape.
Mm.
So you want someone who does as much. It goes to church.
Mhm.
Almost a pastor, if I'm not wrong. So it is fair to expect. So what we say, it is fair to expect that he would want someone who prays,
Mhm.
someone who knows how to be in the presence of God.
Mhm.
So it's about what you put yourself in. If the world wants the high value men, flashy cars and everything, fine. Have multiple streams of income. Provide for whatever girlfriend you have. Because now there's this debate, like, a man chooses to be with one wife. A man should have more, but he chooses to be with one for, like, mental sanity and everything. Because you can only have one. If you have a lot of them, that's what it is. Out of context, I know. But
What?
like, it's out of context, like, a
What's he
man
talking
chooses
about?
to be with one woman because of the mental sanity. Like, if you have a lot of them, imagine, like, say you have three.
Mm.
All of them talking about the kid wants this, the kid wants this. I want to go to Santorini, I want to go to Greece, I want to go to this and this and this. You just want to die. How are you supposed to handle all of that? Fine, you have money, but you cannot be at three places at one time.
Mhm.
You choose to be with one just for your mental sanity. Like, you need to be a clear mind. When you come back from work, all you want from your woman is like, yo, just come to me, I want to go to sleep. I'm tired of being a mental day. I want to see your baby. That's what we men want. That's what we value sometimes. So this thing of price, of everything, value of nothing, it eventually comes down to what do you value, like, personally. Like the viewers will come to them like, what I value right now is a woman who goes to the gym. You go to the gym, you get our body fit, you get our money in check, that's fine. All I value right now is someone who has a talent, who nourishes that talent, comes to God with that talent, etc., etc. I'm a poet, so I love someone who's like more creative with words, creative with whatever that she is doing. That's what I value personally. And yeah, there are those who want to buy expensive stuff. I want a Bugatti. Why do you want a Bugatti? I feel like it has some value to me, sentimental value. Like if I have that, I parents did not have that. So if I have that, that'll show that my parents raised me well. I am able to achieve things that I did not have as a kid. I think that's pretty much all that I can say.
I think the bottom line, one thing we can all agree on is that there is a certain danger we have today in society where we are trying, not because we see the value in something, but because everyone sees the value in it, we try to chase that one thing. For example, from a distance, like he said he wants a Bugatti. From a distance, it's a nice car. But do you know what funny thing is? I've never bought it. Not that it's not cool, it is cool. But I'm more of a car with a presence, like Bentley. You understand? Why? I just like those cars. Yeah, Bugattis are nice. I'll probably keep it just to keep it in my showroom in my house to show that I have a Bugatti. But driving it probably once in a blue moon. What I like more is a Bentley. But now imagine if I'm fighting towards getting a Bugatti just to show you guys that I have a Bugatti. It has nothing to do with me feeling good, like he said. Some things we get to feel good. I don't even feel good. I just want you to feel bad that I have it and you still don't when you come to my house. Do you understand now? So many people, we have a problem now where many people are fighting for things that they don't see the value in it. But because everyone else does, you find them working tirelessly day and night to get it. The day they get it, there's still no satisfaction. There's still nothing that grows within them that says, finally, I've achieved this. All you know is that people are clapping hands, but you're still sitting in your bed late at night saying, I haven't achieved anything. Now, that is the problem we have in society. So, we have to then guard our hearts when it comes to what we consider value. Until we understand that, yeah, there's things that in general are valuable.
Yeah.
A proper house, your kids going to a good school, getting welfare, those are, I think, constant standards and values that we should all have, especially us being men. You understand? Being more family oriented and all those things. But there's certain things I still strongly believe that we must move past the point where we're just doing it because everyone else. If Taps sees me in this, that means I'm golden. Knowing very well that I don't even like what I'm wearing. Yeah, it's a Gucci shirt, but I really think it's ugly. But because I have to convince everyone else in the room that I could afford Gucci, yet I like that plain shirt I saw at LC Waikiki. There we go.
We can say, we can all, as it all goes down to, what you define as valuable. Sometimes what you define as valuable can be a prison to your own happiness. So it is important, before you're so hooked on all these different things society deem as valuable, you look deep within yourself and ask yourself truly, is this worth a lot for me? Is the price I'm paying for it something which I'd be happy to do any day? And as we've spoken about being men, as with time your value evolves, has been said. And make sure you look at that. Because there's certain pieces of value we can all agree which needs to stay. Like as a man, the value of providing and protecting your family. There's certain moral values which are not supposed to change. Some moral values have to stay for advancement and sustainability of a community and us as men. Because we found that we've let society take control so much on what deems as valuable and what deems as not valuable, to a point where we are no longer being able to fully, talking to my brothers here, be able fully to be what we consider a true man. Am I lying, gentlemen? If we can look at it in depth, some things and morals and values should never change. Protect, provide. Some morals and values should never change because the price is much greater, which ends up adding to nothing. Well, that was today's video. Cheers.
Someone smart.